It's like, a little kind of soft, like princess touch.
Fatality.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Wake Up 3. We are your hosts, Cam
And Molly.
And this is a fighting game podcast from a couple that loves fighting games.
Around here, we like to start things off with a mix-up. And Cam, it's been a minute since you've mixed me up.
The last couple of weeks, you've been the mix master. Mm-hmm. But let's see if I can get you this time.
Okay.
Tekken 7 had a couple of notorious guests from other fighting games.
Notorious?
Yeah, those being Geese Howard and Akuma. Mm-hmm. Which Tekken character would you insert into Street Fighter 6? Which one would fit?
Oh, so like a flip?
Yeah, let's flip it.
Not necessarily for Geese, but like Akuma.
Right, we'll get there. Cause
okay.
We'll get there. Yeah, don't jump ahead too hard. So, for Street Fighter 6, what Tekken character do you think would be both a good fit and a menace, just like Akuma was?
Ooh. Let me think about it. It might not be the deepest pick, okay? But I'm going to go with Hwoarang.
Oh, Hwoarang was an interesting
choice
there for sure.
It's not a great pick. I think you pressured me with that mix-up. So.
Oh, my. I got you with the overhead. Let's see if I can get you with the low next here. Which Tekken character would you insert into the upcoming Fatal Fury game for the same reasons?
You know what? I'm just going to throw Falkenraum in there because historically there is a King of Fighters character that I really like who is similar to Falkenraum. Okay. So I would throw Falkenraum in this game just to shake things up.
Okay. So I'm assuming you're referring to Hua Jai?
Yes.
The guy from King of Fighters 13?
That is correct.
He's actually from an old Fatal Fury game.
Oh, shit. Well, then my hope would be that he would be in this upcoming one. And then Falkenraum would just be like a little rival for him.
Yeah, that could be cool. That'd be fun. He'd be like a much larger version because he's huge. That concludes the mix. So
yikes.
Whether or not you got hit by the second question, I don't know. You had an interesting answer, so maybe you blocked that one. Getting into the meat of this week's episode, the Mortal Kombat 1 stress test was this weekend. It was 72 hours long from Friday morning through Monday morning, and we are here to give you our thoughts on it.
We're going to share our opinions, and we want to hear yours too.
We should just say that we had the same 4 characters: Sub-Zero, Kenshi, Kitana, and Liu Kang. And out of those characters, I tried out the other 3, but I really only played Sub-Zero for the most part.
Nothing new there. And then also the same 3 available cameos: Sonya, Jax, and Kano.
Yep. And
the same 2 stages.
I thought the general feel of the game, it felt a little bit slower and clunkier in terms of movement. I've seen that sentiment echoed a lot online too. I personally felt like jumps were a little bit kind of floaty or like weighty in some way. I get that they have to be because there are air combos, but I feel like it was almost too much.
The general consensus seemed to be that movement will see some improvement. This isn't my first stress test. This isn't our first stress test. We were in the MK1 one, and a lot changes. It's always fun to see this. Well, we've only really been through the experience once before.
Right.
But it was so much fun to see how certain things would change.
Right.
And just to be able to experience that and play a game that you'll never experience again. We were kind of looking for, the fun little things, some of the surprises that maybe you wouldn't pick up on. So one of the surprises for me was we had discussed before that taunts are a thing in MK1. That's a new option that you can do during the fights.
Yeah.
I was under the impression that it's just one, but there are actually several taunts for each character. So that was a surprise to me.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how many there are per character, but it seems like they each have 3 or more taunts.
Yeah, I definitely saw a solid 3 from Liu Kang.
Yeah.
So.
Thought that was kind of cool. It seems that quitalities are back. I've seen 2 of them so far. One of them, the character explodes into just a burst of goo, blood, whatever.
Yeah, very similar to MK11 quitality.
Right, that's just when they're in the air from what I've seen so far, and then when they're when a character is grounded, they just reach up and snap their own neck real quick. I was thinking it was going to be a harakiri style where each character would have their own unique little thing like that.
It's kind of a direct reference to a harakiri, and that's pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
even though it's just a quitality, it's still something that's, a nod, a little fun thing.
I think it's fun, and I think I would definitely like to see more of it.
I'm for it.
Yeah, I'm all in.
There's time. They could do it. Another thing that I didn't notice right away, this actually took you noticing and pointing it out. And this is something that I'm not sure will remain, so I'm pointing it out now.
Okay.
Between rounds, your characters can actually move around before it says fight. So between when the announcer is saying the round, so round 2 or final round, your character can move around like
a second early.
Yeah. Yep, I've never seen that before.
That definitely caught me off guard the first couple of times that it happened. Like, oh man, they're already coming towards me.
Right. So it was a little bit jarring.
It was, for sure.
But it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's something that will stay, though. Another interesting thing that's unique to this game, it may or may not stay, so I'm also making note of this, is when you begin playing sets, once I connect to my next match, it's going to default me to my last selected character, and same thing with the other person. Yeah. So instead of it just being like set to Scorpion and Sub-Zero every time, like your default,
Right, where you have to go and select the character.
Yeah, so that was something new and different. Don't know if it'll stick around, but just wanted to note that as well. Brutalities are back once again. As of right now, they have the same sound effect, the music cue that occurs, and then kind of the post-brutality music as well. It's identical right now to MK11's brutality sound.
Yeah.
So like, ba-ba.
Yeah, I wonder if that'll change. Obviously, the fatality one is different.
But the brutality sound, to me, it feels like that could be a placeholder.
Yeah.
But we'll see. So, pointing that out.
Yep, for sure.
So, something of a major discovery with up blocks is if you whiff an up block, the punished damage is significant.
Yeah. I just found out recently by Mustard. He posted a video where he uses the Jax cameo to come out and grab the person, and you can enhance that 2 times. Normally that would be 20%, but in this case it's 35%. 352 damage. That's pretty insane.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. I've never seen anything like that before. Another thing to note, of course, there was some muted dialogues, particularly for Katana, during the in-fight dialogue for Katana.
Yeah, like between rounds.
Yeah, so she had some muted things, probably some character or story giveaways.
Yeah, most likely.
Or both.
There were a couple times where I would be playing and either my own slide or another Sub-Zero slide would
so it happened more than once?
Oh, yeah, it happened in multiple rounds. It happened later, too.
Oh, wow.
So I saved one video of it the first time I noticed it, but there were other fights where it would happen in, too. So right now it seems like half the time, Sub-Zero's slide just won't have an audio cue attached to it.
Okay.
Which is a little bit weird for trying to block it, because it's just,
yeah.
an audio cue is just another one of those things to help you react.
Right.
So right now it's just like, oh.
There he is.
It's visuals only.
Yep.
I'm sure that'll change. It's just a glitch.
So let's talk about our experience with it. So my first choice was Sub-Zero. I thought he would be the coolest option, and he was. He did not disappoint.
Ice cold.
From the get-go, I played like as soon as it went live, and from the get-go I was only seeing Liu Kang. So I think there was a lot of interest in Liu Kang to start with, which is valid. It's fair. You got to see what this new Fire God Liu Kang is all about.
Right.
And he was pretty cool. I tried him out. But Liu Kang's never really been my thing.
Yeah, he's not your go-to.
He's got a lot of cool stuff. Tried out Katana and tried out Kenshi. I think Kenshi's really hard, and I think that's been the general consensus from a lot of people. He's going to be that major curve. If you want to learn Kenshi, you're going to have to go like all in and really commit to this guy.
Yeah, definitely. He's NRS's first puppet character that they've ever made. I've never seen a character like that. So that'll be interesting for sure.
Katana. I played Katana a little bit. You didn't really play You just dabbled.
Yeah, Katana is that character for me where I've never really cared about them too much in terms of gameplay, so I don't think that's going to change.
Yeah. Well, I want to give everybody a chance, you know, even
I
if
know,
it's
I
not
get
someone
it.
I typically play or
I get
a
it.
play style I like. I like what they've got going for her.
Yeah.
She does have a new special that is many are calling a Sonya ripoff. It's kind of a full screen air kick.
Sonya normally just like blasts herself off the ground with her little onion ring things. Katana just uses her fans.
New thing about Katana, she has a new special effect to her fans. She's got little feathers that come out, so that's kind of cute, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, a little kind of soft, like princess touch. The Katana fans out there playing the stress test seem to be rampant for her. I heard a lot of Katana voices over the weekend. demanding a buff already.
Yeah, give it a
We're
break.
hearing that maybe Katana's on the weaker side of these 4 options. But once again, the stress test is not an indication of a final game.
Right. I'm sure her jab will be less than 9 frames when the actual game comes out, so don't worry too much. The air combos seem pretty cool. Well, I played Akira in Street Fighter V. She was the one character that had air combos in that game, and they honestly, to me, felt kind of the same in terms of like how you could link them. So right off the bat, in like my very first match I played online, I was able to just start doing air combos like almost right away, even just basic ones, like basic 3 hits, just because they kind of felt the same as Akira's. I feel like that was probably the smallest learning curve for me. The rest of it was definitely in the cameos, because I feel like I feel like I would often just forget to use a cameo. Like that meter would just be full for most of the fight because I would be focused on other things.
Mm-hmm. That's another huge curve for sure.
Yeah, so I was always thinking like, how can I open someone up? How can I extend the combo into some sort of air pop-up, into an air combo knockdown, whatever. But then I would also just kind of think like, oh yeah, I also have this cameo meter that's going unused. And then that would like stop the rest of my brain because I would just start thinking, how can I use this cameo? That's a personal issue for now. I'm sure that'll get better over time. But yeah, right now I felt like that was a big thing to focus on. Like, oh, I have this too?
I, on the other hand, really struggle with aerial combos, and I also struggled with cameos. Probably, yeah, in the same exact way that you just described. But I felt like the one character that I could start to crack the aerial code with was Katana. He saved the best for last. You played like a ton of Sub-Zero.
Yeah, he was like 99% of who I played throughout the whole stress test. Out of those 4, I thought he was the most fun, so I just kind of stuck with him to see what I could do. And yeah, he's pretty cool. He's got some satisfying combos for sure.
Any standouts, like anything that you really love about Sub-Zero so far?
Well, I love the fact that he has multiple ways to freeze people, because he can hit you with like an ice ball or a ground freeze. If you enhance it, that'll be an auto freeze. Plus he has the clones, and that's sweet because the clone was missing in MK1, and I feel like that's one of his most fun things. So
yeah, I agree.
I'm really happy that the ice clone is back, and I think the enhancement version of it, where it drags you towards him, is like super cool.
The one where like 3 clones pop up in an arc.
Yeah,
and that one's really cool.
Yeah, and
I have to say that first time someone used that against me, I just was tempted to just walk into it, and I just did that because I wanted to see what would happen. I think that looks so cool, and I just had to do it. You know, it was just like, your brain's just like, do it, do the thing.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna get hurt, but you gotta do it.
Yeah, I think it's super cool the way it pops you, like, off the ice clones directly to him, and it can be extended into a full combo. Mm-hmm. I think for me, that's probably the standout for now. And then his back throw, his only throw, I guess, he kind of like flips upside down over the top of you and hits you with an ice spine. It's just like a really extravagant flip. What I noticed that I thought was even cooler was the throw escape, where he kicks the person back and does a backflip off of them to give a little bit of distance. I'm looking forward to seeing what else we'll have for the escapes, just for the animations.
I think one of my favorite things about Sub-Zero, I know this is going to sound so basic, but I love his uppercut. I think it's a great uppercut. Love the secondary costume for him, the all black.
Yeah.
That was another thing. You couldn't choose to be the alternate costume.
I would prefer it if you could select which one, because I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be the black one every time.
Yeah. I said at the beginning, I saw an abundance of Liu Kang right off the bat, but by the end, like probably by the end of day 2 even,
Yeah.
it was mostly Sub-Zero. It was saturated with Sub-Zero. Everybody found their Sub-Zero groove. The matchmaking speed was pretty good.
Yeah, it was quick.
One thing about it, though, is that it wouldn't make a sound when your match popped up. So there was no, like, sound cue once again to alert you.
Yeah,
Hey,
like when you got an opponent.
match found.
Yeah. There were times where I would be looking at my phone or something, and then I would look up at the screen and just see a person on the
Yep.
screen, like, they've accepted your match, and I'd be thinking, like, oh shit, how long have they been sitting there? Because it's just casual, so it's not like there's, like, a time limit or anything.
So yeah, you could only play casual online, and there was also a tower mode available. It was just a small 4-fight tower, and there was a special thanks for playing screen.
Just this little graphic that you'll never be able to get in the final game.
So now that we've played MK1, let's each drop a character who we think belongs in this game.
Okay. Personally, I really want to see Aaron Black on this roster because I want to see what they do with his air combos in this game. I think that could be really fun to see him in MK1. I'm assuming with his air combos, it would be a ton of punches. Yeah, I want to see like a 5-hit punch string or something in the air, and then I really want to just see how long he could juggle somebody with gunshots before he would finally drop them on the ground or whatever.
All right, Aaron Black for DLC. Let's have it.
Yeah, or
Let's see it.
or base. I don't.
How about we pay to win?
Fair enough.
All right, the character I'm going to drop in this game is definitely Ermac, but you already knew that. I feel like, yeah, he'll just be a menace, like, in the air, and I feel like that'll be really fun to figure out all of his little combos and things that you can connect.
Yeah, for sure.
But only time will tell if we'll get either one of these characters. Who do you want to see in this game? Let us know. And also let us know who was your favorite to play as. What were your highlights and what were your surprises? We also got a fun little Roomba video in the Johnny Mansion. If anybody had some fun Roomba interactions, let us know. Yeah, that's pretty much it for us this week. Right? Did we want to talk about anything else? We did not touch Street Fighter 6, obviously, because we were stressing.
Yeah, we haven't played any Street Fighter 6 this week, really.
So we have nothing to say about that.
Right. So next week we'll be back into it for sure. Leveling up our game. I'm still going to be playing as Jury.
And you know I'll be drinking and driving as Jamie. And only as Jamie.
Right, yeah. You wouldn't
Not
want
in real life, anybody, okay?
Yeah, you can never drink and drive as anyone but Jamie.
Yeah. We'll talk to you guys when hopefully there's a new MK1 character announced. Let's say that. Let's put that out there.
You got any hopes for who it'll be?
I've publicly voted for Reptile, but...
Yeah, I'm still going Reptile.
I guess that's 2 for Reptile. Who do you guys vote for? Tell us who you want for the next reveal, who you personally want to see in MK1 after playing MK1, and who was your favorite to play as in MK1. That's your 3 things to tell us.
Sounds like some homework.
Yeah. I told you there's a learning curve to this game. There's a learning curve to this podcast. You gotta do homework.
Well, this was fun. Thanks for tuning in, and
thanks for talking MK1 with us today.
Yeah. Yep. We will see you guys next week for Wake Up Thursday.
Well, that brings us to the end of this week's episode of Wake Up 3. Thanks so much for listening. You can find me, Molly, on Twitter at Concut, that's KAHNKUT, or on PlayStation, that's Jam Michaels.
And you can find me, Cam, on Twitter or most other social media at Big Rock Online. And you can find the podcast at Wake Up 3 FGC on Twitter or on Spotify and YouTube. This is Wake Up 3 signing off.
Bye.
Sony just uses her fan.
Katana just used
Katana. Katana just uses her fan.